It ain't funny.
It doesn't rhyme. Just like Orange a Month and Christmas.
Skinny with Danny.
Oh yeah, the skinny with Danny.
I like that. That was good.
Special.
That was a bit Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm going to Mexico.
Danny, Santa Claus, go.
Really, I know about Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Okay, well, Santa Claus is well, is also known as Saint Nicholas.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Santa Claus, the actual red Santa Claus that most of you kids will be used to,
Yeah.
was invented by Coca-Cola.
I don't know anything
no.
about Santa Claus, but that's bullshit.
I'm gonna put my legs up. Are you comfy, Joe? Yeah.
Everyone knows that's not true. Even
I know.
I don't know anything
That's
about
an
Santa
urban
Claus.
myth. It's an urban myth. No, Santa Claus lives in a house.
Yep.
In the North Pole.
Yep.
Do you know him personally?
No, I don't know him personally. No. What he does, right, is he lives up there, and he basically just like for the rest of the year, he'll be just hanging out with Mrs. Claus. You know.
Oh, so he's got a wife.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hardly ever summer around there, but sometimes it's hot, so he's got the deck chair out, that kind of thing.
Okay.
He doesn't have many other interests, you know, despite besides
besides
what he
what?
gets to do in say he'll start in November.
Yeah.
What he'll do is he'll get his little troop of elves. Elves are like the elves.
Like
These
this
elves
little
are like
squishy faced
yeah.
character here.
Why don't you put your hat on, Joe? Oh, everyone else has to wear hats.
Yeah, I know, but it's uncomfortable, the dog hat.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
We can
elves.
swap for a minute,
Okay.
if you want.
Well, anyway, so
I like your one.
his elves though are smaller than like your Lord of the Rings elves.
Right.
They're like elves and dwarves.
Oh, they are
They're not
really
fighting
tall.
elves.
Huh?
They're really tall.
Which ones?
The Lord of the Rings elves.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Really tall and got big ears.
So
So his elves are like Lord of the Rings hobbits.
the elves
Pretty
you're
much.
describing sound almost
Yeah.
more like pixies.
Yeah, well, they are a bit like
Yes.
pixies. Well, anyway, he gets this troop
Not
of
the
elves.
ones that sing though.
No. He gets this troop of elves because
Stop.
they're great because they're small and you don't have to pay them very much because they're small. So, because a lot of money means a lot to them because it's big.
Sure.
But, you know,
Yeah.
more money, more
He just gets a
problems.
regular coin and grinds it up into little
Exactly.
pieces.
Grinds it up. You can take a 20-cent coin and give them each 5 cents.
Do you know that's what pieces of 8 were?
Hmm.
They were like regular sized coins that you just cut up into 8 pieces.
I did know.
Right.
So anyway, he gets these troop of elves about November, say the beginning of November, to start making toys.
How do you know he starts in November?
You seem to know an awful lot about this character. This may be the best informed of any skinny you've ever been.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, so about November, I've heard this,
Right.
in the North Pole, turns on his fires,
And then on my hand.
starts the rotary engines, gets the travelators moving, that kind of thing, so that they can start this assembly line of toys. Then
He makes toys.
Yep. Then at the beginning of December, he gets his haberdashers to start making sacks.
Oh.
Yeah. So he can actually make these sacks.
Yeah.
And then about halfway through December, he checks on his reindeer, and because because he's got the same troop of reindeer that takes him everywhere, entourage, but you know they don't go after him. They take him.
To go before him.
Yeah, they go before him. So he gets this entourage of reindeer, and then towards the 25th,
What does he do?
He gets these sacks he's made
Couldn't he
full of
reuse
the toys.
sacks?
What?
Couldn't he reuse the sacks? From the
No.
previous year?
Danny
No,
hasn't told
I'll
us what he
explain
does with
later.
sacks.
I'll explain later.
They might contain bodies or something.
I'll tell ya. He sounds like a strange fella. So
He is a strange fella.
He does sound like a strange
He is a
fella.
strange fella, but this is the only thing he does.
So you don't know
Right.
him? Do any of
He's a
your
bit
mates know
eccentric.
him?
He's
He sounds a bit
You know him, the
eccentric.
cameraman.
Yeah.
And do any of your mates know him?
No, nobody really knows him.
Really?
Because this is what he has to do, right?
He's not even connected by
Like-
6 degrees.
No, not really.
Gee.
Like,
Wow.
Like, well, okay, so this is what he has to do. Say about from the 22nd onwards, he has
Of what?
to, the 22nd of December,
Yeah.
he has to venture off in his sled. He has a big sled that flies through the sky, with
Right.
magic reindeer who also fly through the sky.
Yeah.
Puts the toys that the elves have made into the sacks that the haberdashers made,
Yes.
and then takes these to children all around the world.
This is starting to stretch my credibility.
Your credibility.
Frankly. Yes. I'm starting to find this hard to countenance.
Okay, well, a lot of people say, look, How does he do that all in one day?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't do that because if he goes around the world
Yeah.
delivering presents, he's going to go across several date lines.
Right.
So actually, he has like maybe 2 or 3 days. Time.
Yeah, but he only accomplishes it with the scientifically dubious invention of magic reindeer and elves.
That's true. That's true.
And his
Microsoft
transportation seems to be a
Angry
sled.
at him
It is a sled, and also
for inventing all those Xboxes. Does
for
he
a bit
have a
of-
license?
for a bit of cash. What? What?
Well, the toys that he manufactures. Lots of kids these days they want like Xboxes and
Stocking.
Nintendo Wii's and so forth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Does he?
Maybe in Los Angeles.
No,
Does
no,
he-
no,
are they
no, no.
knockoffs?
No, it's unrealistic to think that he manufactures everything.
Okay.
There's some things that the elves
That he
can
sources.
manufacture, but there's a certain degree of outsourcing there.
Okay.
But I was going to say, to make a bit of cash,
Yeah.
what he does is he does like promotional gigs and things like that. Like he'll turn up to parades and the like, and
Right.
that kind of thing.
That's still
Just-
only for
yeah.
like.
That's
like
only
late
for really the
November,
month
that-
of
late
December.
October,
I've got a
that
question.
kicks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If nobody knows him,
Yeah.
and you certainly don't know,
No.
how come you know so much about,
About
this
him.
Well,
stuff?
nobody knows him personally, but it's
Right.
like, I don't know Michael Jackson personally, but I know a lot about him. I don't,
But other people know.
Well, I mean, this is getting quite. This is almost venturing into the realm of dead French guys, Mary, because like how entrenched does somebody have to be in the discourse before we start, countenancing their existence?
Well, this is a...
We generally accept that Michael Jackson exists.
Well, that's true.
Are we going
that's
to
true.
accept that Santa Claus exists because as many people talk about him as do Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. Robots are constructed.
But
That's all I have to say.
But I mean, nobody. But it's Santa Claus is one of those kind of like they're kids, right?
Yeah.
They're kids who believe that he's real, like he actually does exist.
Yeah.
Oh, what? So he might not?
So
And then
his
you get-
existence is in contestation prior to this
It is in
conversation.
You weren't giving that impression.
Yeah.
You were talking
Well,
about
I was trying to
stone
give you the
cold
facts, right? I was trying to give you the
Right.
facts.
You were giving, but okay. So thank you for that. So and I now know what I know about
by the same
Santa Claus.
token, I could give you a skinny about the Tooth Fairy,
Mhm.
or I could give you a skinny about dragons.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
now, I would expect that the most salient fact about Santa Claus is that he is a mythical figure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you didn't
But
give
I
us.
wanted to give you some background
under
first
the
before I really
impression
drop
that
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 you were
bomb.
talking about
Really
an
weird
actual
dude in the
guy.
North Pole who lived there with his wife and
Yeah.
got up to a whole bunch of strange stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna frack as my stocking.
Well, I was trying to
I
give you,
don't freaking
as I
know.
said
Is that on
before,
the chair there?
God
as I said
freaking
before,
know.
I was trying to give you a bit of background before I dropped that bomb and
Oh.
said, look, he may not
Oh.
exist.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
jumped the gun. You were
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
going to tell us that
I was gonna tell
that
you-
Santa Claus may not exist.
I was going to tell you that you could have just wasted your time, and all I've told you could not be true.
Bonus points.
Yeah.
Can you give us any other
Does Santa Claus have any friends?
or any other
Cohorts?
or any other kind of
Mythological compatriots?
yes, not exactly compatriots, alternatives
Oh, yeah.
No.
like your German guy?
The Krampus!
Yeah.
What's the German guy, the Krampus, and
No,
then there's...
no.
What's that Spanish guy?
Okay,
Mexican
no.
guy?
And
These are like variant forms of
Shut
the Santa
up!
figure, though,
I'm
aren't
trying
they?
to talk.
Okay, well, it's my segment.
You never interrupt. I never interrupt you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, no. Santa Claus is pretty universal, except in some countries, he's known as Christkindl, which is roughly translates as the Christ Child. So in some countries, presents aren't actually delivered by Santa; they're delivered by Jesus, little
That-
baby
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
which is quite a cute thought, isn't
It
it?
is.
It is, it
This
is.
little kid
Adorable.
coming around,
So, And
they're delivering presents. But also, in many territories, he has like a 2IC.
Ah, jeez. Yeah.
yeah, in
Oh, we have
summary...
to stop.
In summary,
Almost.
he has a 2IC, yeah.
Who
Yeah.
is a little black dude, who sometimes in some countries is known as Black Peter, Pedro Negro,
Pedro
who will
Negro,
give
yeah.
you
Yeah.
coal if you're
Yeah.
bad.
In summary,
Or take your
In other
estate.
countries, he's called the Krampus, who is a goat-like figure, who is a devil who has been enslaved by Saint Nicholas, having triumphed over evil. And if you
God's
are a
sake.
bad child, he will spirit you away and take you
just
to Spain.
before we finish, Santa does have a mean streak. If you've been a bad child, then you're not likely to get presents from him. But
And you
you
may
still will get presents from your parents.
And you may get coal.
but
or
he may
take-
not be